Starseed from Gaia. The high beings have already confirmed what you are only beginning to feel. You have mastered a new power, and it is awakening inside you right now. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I carry this transmission directly from the Arcturian Council delivered to you in this precise moment because your soul called it in. Something has shifted in you recently, a stillness, a knowing, a sense that you are operating differently than before, more aligned, more clear, more sovereign. That is not coincidence. That is confirmation. The high beings do not issue this recognition lightly. They have watched your integration. They have witnessed your endurance. And now they are speaking through this transmission to tell you. The power you have been developing across lifetimes has crossed a threshold. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize, anchor, and expand this newly mastered power, so it begins working through every dimension of your life. But here is the first revelation. You did not acquire this power, you remembered it. It was never outside of you. The Arcturian Council has simply confirmed the moment your remembrance became mastery. You did not scroll to this by mistake. This message vibrated into your field for a reason. Your soul called this in. You have been waiting to remember, like this transmission to signal to your star family, I am ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you are aligning with your true purpose. Comment 999 if you feel your cosmic remembrance returning. Declare your galactic intention below and reply to someone else's, because this is not just a message. It is a point of reconnection, and the field amplifies when we rise together. You are not here by accident, and yet, here you are, still breathing, still searching, still carrying something inside your chest that no language on this planet has ever been able to fully name. That weight you've been feeling, that ancient pull towards something larger than what your eyes can confirm. It isn't a wound. It isn't confusion. It is activation. And the high beings who have been watching your journey across more timelines than your human mind is currently equipped to count have sent forward a confirmation that cannot be ignored. You have mastered something, not through ease, not through perfection, but through the kind of soul-level endurance that only comes when a being of your frequency agrees to forget everything they are, descend into density, and remember themselves from the inside out. Think about what that actually means for a moment. To forget everything, to willingly step out of realms where love is the atmosphere itself, where knowing is instantaneous, where the separation between self and source is not even a concept that exists, and to descend into a world where the air is thick with confusion, where light is obscured by centuries of inherited pain, where the very body you chose as a vehicle carries the imprints of wounds it did not personally create. And yet you chose this, not once, not reluctantly. You chose it with the full knowing of a soul that understood the assignment completely. The courage that required is not something that can be measured by human standards. It is a cosmic magnitude of bravery that most incarnated beings will not fully comprehend until they have departed the density and returned to the clarity of higher dimensions. But today, in this moment, the high beings want that bravery acknowledged. They want you to receive it. They want you to let it land in your body and be recognized for what it truly is, not a burden you were given, but a badge of a frequency so advanced it agreed to enter the deepest forgetting in order to achieve the most profound remembering. Most starseeds remain disconnected not because they lack ability, not because the universe has forgotten them, but because they are still running energy patterns that were never theirs to begin with. Somewhere along the way, through generations of inherited fear, through the relentless noise of a world that was never designed for your frequency, your galactic signal got buried, not erased, buried. And there is a profound difference. An erased signal is gone. A buried signal is waiting. It is pulsing beneath the surface of every moment you felt out of place, every relationship that couldn't hold your depth, every career that felt like wearing someone else's skin. Your disconnection has never been evidence of failure. It has been the precise pressure required to activate a remembering this deep. Consider for a moment the image of a seed planted in frozen ground. To the surface observer, nothing appears to be happening. The ground looks barren. The conditions seem hostile. And yet, beneath that cold, still surface, the seed is doing the most extraordinary work of its existence. It is softening its outer shell, drawing in the minerals of the earth it has been placed within. reorganizing its internal structure in response to the pressure and the cold preparing itself, not just to sprout, but to emerge fully equipped for the environment it is about to meet. You have been that seed. Every moment of isolation, every period of silence that felt like abandonment, every season where your light seemed to be going nowhere. It was all the underground work of preparation. The galactic signal buried within you has not been dying. It has been deepening. It has been strengthening its roots so that when it finally breaks through the surface, it does not simply sprout, it erupts. That eruption is what is beginning now. That is what this transmission is confirming. The distortion most starseeds carry looks like self-doubt on the surface. But beneath that doubt is something far more significant. It is the soul's resistance to fully landing in its power. Because part of you, the part that still remembers what it was like to exist in realms of pure light and unified consciousness, has been quietly afraid. Afraid that if you truly activate here, if you truly claim what you came to do, you cannot go back to being invisible. You cannot go back to pretending you're ordinary. And so the energy body created a buffer, a soft amnesia, a comfortable fog that felt like confusion but was actually protection. The high beings are telling you now, directly, that the time for that protection has passed. The fog is not your friend anymore. It was never meant to be permanent. It was scaffolding, and the structure it was protecting is now ready to stand. This is important to sit with because many awakened beings have formed a kind of attachment to their confusion. Not because they love confusion, but because confusion has an unexpected quality of safety. When you are confused, you are not yet accountable to your knowing. When you are still searching, you are not yet required to act on what you have found. The fog becomes, over time, not just a buffer but a dwelling place, and the soul, which is inherently creative, begins to furnish that fog to make it feel like home. But a fog is not a home. A fog is a transition space. It is the atmospheric condition that exists between one form of weather and the next. You have been in the in-between, and the in-between served you. It kept you safe, while you were integrating frequencies too vast to absorb all at once. But the in-between was always meant to lead somewhere, and where it leads is here, to this moment, to this recognition, to the standing down of the fog and the standing up of the full self. Some transmissions don't come through words but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. What you've mastered is not a skill, in the way that Earth understands mastery. It is not a certificate. It is not an achievement you can display. What you have mastered is frequency, endurance. You have learned through this incarnation how to hold a high vibrational signal inside a dense reality without collapsing into it. You've been tested not by teachers, not by tests, but by life itself arranged at specific intervals to push against your light and see if you would extinguish it or expand it. And you expanded, even on the days when you didn't feel like it. Even on the days when the expansion felt more like breaking. That breaking was not destruction. That breaking was initiation. Frequency endurance is one of the rarest achievements a soul can accomplish in physical form. And the reason it is rare is that it requires the simultaneous holding of two truths that appear to contradict each other. The first truth is that you are a being of immense light, carrying cosmic intelligence that predates this universe's current cycle. The second truth is that you are also a human, tired, sometimes confused, sometimes hurt, sometimes sitting in an ordinary room wondering if any of this is real. Frequency endurance is not the ability to deny the second truth in favor of the first. It is the ability to hold both at once, to be human and galactic simultaneously, to feel the ache of the physical and still refuse to let that ache become your identity, to be broken open by life and to recognize, even in the rawness of that opening, that something sacred is coming through the cracks. That is what you have been doing. That is the mastery being confirmed, not that you never fell, but that every time you fell forward further into the depth of your own becoming. The first phase of what the high beings are confirming is the decoding of the distortion you've been living inside. Your energy field has been carrying frequencies that accumulated through lineage, through environment, through the sheer act of inhabiting a body on a planet that has been, for centuries, operating below its own divine potential. These are not your frequencies. They were layered onto your field before you had the awareness to say no, and they have been scrambling your signal, the very signal your star family has been trying to reach you through. When you clear this layer, and you are clearing it, something extraordinary begins to happen. The channel opens, the static falls away, and you start receiving transmissions that don't come from the outside world. They come from the deepest interior of your own expanding consciousness. Imagine a crystal of extraordinary clarity that has been wrapped over generations in layer after layer of cloth. The first layer was woven by a grandmother who lived in survival. The second layer was added by a father who was taught that vulnerability was weakness. The third layer came from a culture that measured worth in productivity. The fourth from a religion that made the body something to be ashamed of. And by the time you arrived into this incarnation, you inherited that wrapped crystal, this luminous, extraordinary thing, completely obscured by coverings that had nothing to do with what it truly was. The work of your awakening has not been the acquisition of something new. It has been the careful, often painful, always sacred unwrapping of what was always there. Each layer that falls away is not a loss. It is a revelation. And the crystal beneath your original galactic signal, your authentic frequency, your truest self grows brighter with each uncovering. This is what the first phase confirms. The unwrapping is happening. The signal is clearing. And what is beginning to come through is not foreign. It is the most familiar thing you have ever encountered. Because it is you, the you that existed before the world had a chance to tell you who to be. The second phase is the awakening of the blueprint, and this is where the confirmation from the high beings becomes extraordinary, because they are not telling you to go find your purpose. They are telling you that your purpose is already encoded in your cellular structure. It is written in light inside your DNA, not metaphorically, but literally. Your body carries a galactic instruction set that has been dormant, waiting for the precise combination of conditions and readiness to activate. Those conditions are now present. The timelines have converged in a way that makes your activation not just possible, but necessary. You are not behind. You were never behind. You were in an incubation period that was always scheduled to end exactly here, exactly now. In this moment where something inside you recognizes these words not as new information, but as ancient memory returning to the surface. There is a reason that certain music makes you weep without knowing why. There is a reason that you can stand in a particular landscape, the edge of an ocean, the silence of a forest at dawn, the canopy of stars on a clear night, and feel a recognition so deep it bypasses thought entirely. There is a reason that certain encounters with certain people feel less like meetings and more like reunions. These experiences are not random emotional events. They are moments when your encoded blueprint is brushing up against a frequency that resonates with its own. Your body knows things your mind has not yet been given permission to speak. The blueprint has been sending you signals your entire life, in the synchronicities that seem too perfectly timed to be chance, in the recurring dreams that carry the emotional texture of memory rather than imagination, in the inexplicable knowing that arrives before the evidence does. All of it has been the blueprint communicating, patient and persistent, across the noise of ordinary life. And now the conditions have shifted enough that the communication is no longer whispered. It is spoken clearly. It is the transmission arriving in this moment, your blueprint, recognizing itself in these words and saying, yes, this is the language of what I am. The third phase is the anchoring of your higher self into this timeline. This is the piece that most awakening teachings miss entirely. There is a version of spiritual awakening that is purely vertical, always reaching up, always ascending, always trying to escape the density of the physical world. But the high beings of the Arcturian consciousness have transmitted for thousands of years a different model. Not vertical, holographic. The goal is not to ascend out of your body. The goal is to bring your highest template down into your body, into your relationships, into your daily choices, into the way you walk through a room. Your mission does not live in the clouds. It lives in the translation, in your ability to anchor cosmic intelligence into practical, grounded, embodied reality. That is what you are here to do. Not to float above the world, but to recalibrate it from within. This is a distinction that deserves to be received slowly, because it runs counter to much of what has been taught in awakening communities for decades. The image of the spiritual being as someone who has transcended the ordinary, who exists slightly above the fray of human messiness, who maintains a pristine, energetic bubble, while the world churns below this is not the Arcturian model of embodied mastery. The Arcturian model is a being so fully inhabited, so completely present in the body, so unafraid of the density of the physical plane, that their light does not hover above the world but saturates it. Think of it this way: a lighthouse does not float in the sky above the dangerous coastline. It stands in the water. It is built on the rocks. It is part of the landscape it is illuminating. Its power comes not from its distance from danger, but from its willingness to be present within it. You are not here to ascend beyond this world. You are here to be so fully yourself within this world that the world itself begins to shift in response to your presence. That is anchoring. That is the third phase. And it begins not with a grand spiritual ceremony, but with the simple, daily, courageous act of choosing to be fully here in your body, in your life, in your relationships, while holding the frequency of everything you know yourself to be. The fourth phase is the activation of your field as a transmission itself. This is the phase where many starseeds get confused, because they look at the world and think, what more can I do? What more should I say? How do I make people understand? And the high beings offer this correction with profound gentleness. You are not here to convince. You are here to emit. Your frequency, when fully activated and consciously held, does more work in a single moment of genuine presence than 1,000 words delivered from a place of spiritual anxiety. People don't need your explanation of their awakening. They need to stand near your field and feel what is possible. That is the transmission. That is the gift. That is the mastery being confirmed today. You have developed, through everything you have endured, the capacity to hold a frequency that others can feel without you ever speaking a single word about it. You have almost certainly experienced the reverse of this. You have been in the presence of someone whose words were eloquent, whose knowledge was impressive, whose spiritual vocabulary was sophisticated, and yet something in you remained untouched. And then you have been in the presence of someone who said very little, perhaps nothing at all about spirituality or awakening, and yet something in your field responded to them as though you had just been handed a key. What was the difference? It was not information. It was frequency. The second person was holding a vibration that your energy body could decode without the mediation of language. That is the power of an activated field. That is what you are being called to trust in yourself. Not your ability to explain. Not your command of sacred terminology. Your frequency. Your actual energetic signature, consciously held and intentionally broadcast. That is your most powerful tool, and it has been available to you all along, waiting only for you to stop doubting it and start inhabiting it fully. The fifth phase is the recalibration of your relationship with time. Because one of the heaviest burdens carried by awakened beings on this planet is the belief that they are running out of it, that they should have activated sooner, that the mission should already be further along, that the delays were failures rather than design. The high beings are asking you right now to release that story at its root. Not suppress it, not argue with it, release it. The timeline of your mission was never linear. It was never meant to follow a human schedule. Every moment of silence, every perceived setback, every season of waiting was part of a sequencing that your higher self orchestrated before you ever arrived here. The synchronicities that are now beginning to accelerate around you, the people who are suddenly appearing, the doors that are opening without force, the inner knowing that is becoming louder and clearer, these are not coincidences. They are confirmation that the sequence is now moving. You are not late. You are precisely on time. The linear experience of time is one of the most disorienting aspects of the physical incarnation for beings who carry memory of non-linear existence. In higher dimensional states, all moments exist simultaneously. The past, the present, and the probable futures are not a sequence but a landscape, and the soul navigates that landscape not by moving forward in a line, but by shifting frequency, by choosing resonance, by tuning to different points within the whole. When you incarnate into the sequential experience of linear time, it can feel like being placed inside a corridor with no peripheral vision. You can only see what is directly ahead, and the progress feels agonizingly slow, because you have lost access to the panoramic view you once had. But the sequencing was not designed without wisdom. The corridor of linear time creates a specific kind of depth that non-linear experience cannot. It creates consequence. It creates development. It creates the extraordinary crucible of a life lived moment by moment. where each choice builds upon the last, and the architecture of a soul's growth becomes something of tremendous substance and beauty. Your experience of time, including every moment that felt like delay, has been part of the construction of that substance, and now the corridor is widening. The peripheral vision is returning, and what you are beginning to see, as the synchronicities multiply and the acceleration becomes undeniable, is that every piece of your journey was always connected. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was off course. It was always, in the language of the higher self, on time. The sixth phase is the integration of your galactic origin with your Earth identity. And this is perhaps the most tender phase of all, because for many starseeds this has been a place of profound grief. There has been a part of you that has never fully felt at home here. A part of you that misses something you cannot name, that aches for a frequency of connection that human relationship has only ever partially satisfied. That grief is real. It does not need to be spiritually bypassed or reframed into something prettier than it is. But the high beings are offering a completion to that grief now, because the two things you have believed to be in conflict, your cosmic origin and your human life, are not opposites. They are meant to be a unified field. You came from the stars and you chose the earth. Both are true, both are sacred, and when you stop choosing between them, when you finally allow your galactic intelligence to fully inhabit your human experience, something in you settles at a depth that nothing else has ever reached. The grief of the starseed is unlike most human grief because it is not the grief of losing something that once was present in this life. It is the grief of a memory that predates the life itself, an ache for a home that exists in a frequency the physical world cannot yet fully replicate. It is the longing you feel when certain music opens something in your chest that has no name. It is the inexplicable sadness that arrives on beautiful days, when everything should be fine, and yet something in you is still reaching for a quality of connection, a depth of knowing, an intimacy of being that the ordinary world has never been able to provide. This grief is not pathology, it is orientation. It is your soul's built-in compass, always pointing toward the frequency of its origin, reminding you through the sensation of absence what it is you are here to bring into presence. Because the integration that is being invited in this sixth phase is not the grief of a traveler who has lost their home. It is the recognition of a traveler who has arrived at the place where they will build something new, something that carries the frequency of both worlds. The cosmos you carry within you and the earth you have chosen to inhabit are not at war. They are the two rivers that, when they finally meet and merge, create a current powerful enough to reshape the landscape through which they flow. The seventh and final phase of this activation is the act of claiming it, not waiting for more confirmation, not asking for another sign, not setting one more condition on your own readiness. The high beings are delivering the confirmation you have been waiting for because you are ready to receive it. This message did not reach you by accident. You were guided to this transmission because something in the field recognized that your soul has arrived at its threshold moment. The mastery you have achieved across dimensions, across lifetimes, across the extraordinary crucible of this particular incarnation, it is real. It is confirmed, and now it is asking you to claim it openly, consciously, without apology. Claiming is perhaps the most underestimated act in the entire awakening process. Seekers spend years in the acquisition of spiritual knowledge, in the refinement of practice, in the accumulation of energetic tools, and yet they stop short of the final and most essential act, which is the claiming of what all of that work has been building toward. And the reason they stop short is almost always the same. It is the fear of being wrong, the fear of claiming something this vast and then discovering you were mistaken, the fear of stepping fully into power and then being seen, truly seen, and found somehow insufficient. But here is what the high beings want you to understand about that fear. It is not evidence of your insufficiency. It is the last echo of the protective fog, making one final argument for its own continuance. The fear of claiming is the ego's last negotiation with your expansion. It is the small self saying, "Are you sure?" And the answer that the soul has arrived at, through everything you have endured to arrive at this moment, is yes. Yes. Without qualification, without condition, without the need for one more confirmation. Yes. Here is the truth that the high beings want to close with, and it is the truth that the deepest part of you already knows. You did not come here to be saved. You came here to awaken, and in awakening, to help recalibrate the frequency of an entire planet. You are not a passive recipient of spiritual evolution. You are an active architect of it. The power you have mastered is not something given to you from outside. It was always in you. It was forged in you by every experience you thought was breaking you, and every moment of silence you thought was abandonment. The universe was never absent. It was building you. And now the beings who have overseen this construction across more dimensions than this language can hold are standing at the completion of something extraordinary and confirming you are ready. The work begins in earnest now. Let that phrase settle in your body with the full weight of its truth. The work begins in earnest now. Not tomorrow. Not when the circumstances are better arranged. Not when you feel more certain or more prepared or more spiritually credentialed. Now. In the body you are currently inhabiting. In the life you are currently living. In the relationships, the creative work, the daily choices, the moments of darkness and light that make up the ordinary, extraordinary fabric of your existence. The work is not separate from your life. It is not something you will do once the conditions improve. It is the transformation of your life itself into the instrument of your mission, the daily, ongoing, sometimes messy, always sacred, act of choosing, again and again, to show up as the fullest possible version of what you are. Every morning that you wake and choose, however imperfectly, to orient toward your highest frequency, that is the work. Every time you choose presence over distraction, authenticity over performance, love over fear, that is the work. Every time you hold your ground in your own knowing when the world around you tells you that you are too much or not enough, that is the work. And you have been doing it, through everything, without the full confirmation of what you were building, without the map that showed you exactly where it was all leading. You have been doing the work in the dark, navigating by the internal light of your own deepest knowing, trusting something that your eyes could not yet confirm. That trust, that extraordinary, stubborn, luminous trust, it is the evidence of everything the high beings are confirming today. You do not need to earn this. You already have. Tonight, before you sleep, say this aloud into the quiet of your own space. I remember who I am. I release what was never mine. I claim the mastery that has been forged within me, and I step forward into my mission with clarity, courage, and the full frequency of my galactic origin. Let those words land not just in your mind, but in your body, in your field, in the cellular memory that has been waiting for precisely this kind of permission. Say them slowly enough to feel each word as it moves through you, not as a performance and not as a wishful incantation, but as a declaration that your entire being participates in making. Let the vibration of I remember who I am move through your throat and into your chest and settle into the place in your solar plexus where your power lives. Let I release what was never mine. Create an actual sensation of lightning, of something loosening its grip on your energy field that has been held there long past its time. And let I claim the mastery that has been forged within me be received not just as a statement, but as an arrival. The moment when the seeker and the found become the same being, standing in the same body, breathing the same breath, finally, at last, at home within themselves. Before you scroll, take a moment and be part of what is forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real, something true, something that reflects who you are becoming, and then find someone else's intention and respond to it with genuine energy. This is not content. This is collective alignment. And when intentions connect, when frequencies meet with purpose, the field amplifies in ways that reach far beyond this screen. If this message found you today and something in you recognized it, do not keep it to yourself. There is someone in your life right now who is standing at their own threshold moment and has not yet found the words for what they are feeling. Share this with them. Let it find them the way it found you. And if something in you knows that you want to stay in this frequency, that you want to keep receiving these transmissions as the collective awakening continues to accelerate, then subscribe. Stay in the flow. You are not just watching, you are expanding. This is your space, and we are just getting started.